you very much. President Branham, the facility is absolutely beautiful. To see young ladies here, which wasn't here in 1990, is absolutely wonderful. I am the only one of the three of us that is also a student of Rose-Hulman today. I am enrolled in the the Manager of Science Engineering Management program. And I'll get to that in a minute, but I would say seeing the best, the brightest of Rose-Hulman students here today is quite awe-inspiring. The achievements you've already earned, the lives, the research, the various things you're learning. What a great time of your life. And as you pursue your graduate school or your first jobs, just remember, you're making an impact already. And it's important to know that as a young person, it's all right to have opinions, but also look at the people around you. They're the people that are going to be teaching you. And one of the things I wanted to share about my Rose-Hulman experience is the mentoring that I received from so many different ways. My parents were very supportive of me going to Rose-Hulman. Let me say my parents. My mother was very supportive. My dad was a Notre Dame guy, as was my older brother at the time, who was 14 months older than me. One of my uncles, some cousins, and both of my grandfathers, all Notre Dame people. So my grandfather took about a year of saying Rose what before he understood where it was. And as only a grandfather could, he came down here as our freshman year for a football game and saw the experience that Rose-Hulman is, and wholeheartedly agreed that this was the path for me. So a lot of you out there, you had a lot of choices to make in life. You'll have a lot more choices to make in your life. Those are important things to know, that your path is your path. Follow it. Follow where your heart's going to take you. And as I looked, when this process originally began, Brian Dyer contacted us. I was really kind of surprised he contacted me, to be honest with you. I was your scrappy, B-average student. My internships, all 4 years, were spent on the back end of a garbage truck. And I wasn't allowed to drive the truck, I was just filling it in the back. When you ask me who were my mentors, who were my leaders while I was at Rose-Hulman, on the football field, I played behind Brian Ruckle for 2 years as backup center. The leadership Brian brought to practice every day was outstanding. It really was unifying. We had an outstanding team. 4 years we were here, our record was 30 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie. And it wasn't until my junior year, my senior year, until I fought my way in the field. And I never regretted that being that starting player. You know, and for the off chance Brian got poked in the eye or something like that, I got an opportunity to play early on. It was the leadership that Brian showed on that football field. I helped mold myself, my future, by seeing that kind of leadership. Mike Hoffa, a fraternity brother of mine, he was a leader in the fraternity, he was a leader in the classroom. Mike and I are both mechanical engineers, and Mike was a diehard student who understood things. And I would tell you that whether it was seeing Brian on the field effortlessly, playing football, doing his own blocks, knocking people on their butt, or whether it was Mike acing another test and doing really incredible work, they made it look effortless, but I knew they were working very hard. And the grace that they brought to that is something that as a young person, I think is the mentorship that you see. And, you know, I was very blessed in my career. As I left school, I went into an atmosphere of steel mills. My first crew I had at LTV Steel, the youngest person was 48 years old. I was 22. And that's a big change when you come out of school. And very quickly, I learned that there was a way to earn respect and a way to show what you know, but work with people. And as I took an opportunity to go to Steel Dynamics, it was a startup company, there was a lot of risk. My wife Vern and I showed up at the plant, drove around it, and couldn't see the plant. It was a cornfield. And I thought, wow, man, this is risky. And said, hey, let's roll the dice, see what we can do here. I've never looked back. Steel Dynamics has been this opportunity that I have wonderful mentors. The founders of our company are the innovative, competitive people that are driving us every day, that want to see us all do as good as we can. And the atmosphere is one that absolutely, if you have the idea or the thought that something needs to be done, the idea should be, how do I get it done? Not necessarily whose job is it, because at this culture, it was wide open. And one of the reasons I was able to do so well in this culture is because I really listen to the people I'm working with, and I really am genuinely interested in what they do and how well they do. And I think as the young people in the audience, as you start getting ready to go in your careers, like I said, you have to be aware that you are young, but you are making a difference from the beginning. That opportunity that you think is going to come is just going to come someday or some night. You're not going to know it. It's not going to be announced. You're not going to have time to prepare for that opportunity. This is all what that is about. This is about preparing yourself so that in the middle of the night, some night when you're working shifts like I did for 7 years, a lot of people don't work shifts so much, 7 years around the clock, that's when opportunity knocks on the door. That's when you avert a crisis. That's when you figure out a better process. That's when you figure out how to keep people safe. And that's what will make your career. So I think prepare yourself, and advice I gave to some of the classes yesterday we sat through. I've never taken a job where I've actually asked what I was going to be paid. I'd always assumed I'd be treated fairly, and I have been. I've never asked, what's the next job? I was never interested in that. I was always interested in, when I got to that fork in the road, am I going to enjoy this work? Because I work too many hours, as my family will attest to not enjoy what I'm doing. And so as you go about your careers, understand that. Enjoy what you do. Be ready for that challenge when it comes through the door. Because it's not going to be announced. It'll just be part of your experiences. And well, one of the last things I think that we all, we find ourselves, what am I in life? I think it's pretty interesting. I'm the son of an artist and a school teacher. I'm the son-in-law of a firefighter and a wonderful woman who raised a great family that my wife was in. I got great brothers, a great sister, who really drove me through the Rose-Hulman experience. My brother Cole was at Notre Dame while I was down here, and he called her to football all the time. If you got a chance, he'd come down to watch games. It's a great experience. And now I find myself in a role that not only was I a son of these things, but I'm also now a father, 2 wonderful children. I'm the husband of a beautiful woman. And those are parts of your life that, you look back 20 years later and things change. And they change for the better. So look where you're at today and realize things just get better and move ahead. And especially to the young people in the audience today, enjoy it. It's great. It's going to be a lot of fun. You have the great skills from Rose-Hulman to go out there and make a difference. And it's up to you now. Thank you.